There's nothing better to do today. Could have a game night. 12 hours with the kids today. Ooh, this thing is off. Didn't even get to clean up. Didn't do anything on my list because 4 kids all day, 8 in the morning till 8 at night. Insane. Insane. Place is a mess. Didn't get to any cleaning. Didn't get to go work out. Waste of day. Just screaming and fighting all day long. They cannot get along. Screaming and fighting. Oh my goodness. What a terrible waste of day. I am reading a lot though. Dark greetings, everyone. Hello, Melissa. I am reading a lot. I read Bob Costas' Fair Play. Hello, Cody. And I read, Cody, did you see on a More Civilized Age, I had iTalk Studios on? He's a Red Sox fan. He has a great baseball channel. If you haven't seen it, subscribe to him. He's a great baseball channel. But I had a feeling this guy would want to talk Star Wars, and he did. He came on. He was really excited. So we'll have him on again. He doesn't know much about the EU, but we're going to have him on again later on another topic I think he can talk about. Hello, Vex. But anyway, Bob Costas' Fair Ball is what it was called. I just finished that, and I'm 13 chapters in to Keith Hernandez. I love Keith Hernandez. That's my favorite player as a kid. I Am Keith Hernandez is what it's called. I think I'm 13, 14 chapters in. I mean, I got a lot of reading today. That's a book and a half about. I don't know how many chapters. It's all digital, so I don't know what the chapters are. Braves versus Mets, Melissa? Maybe. Hey, I'd just be happy to see the Mets in the playoffs. Started with New Jay Order, first time almost done with Vector Prime. Isn't it great? Now as a servant arc. It's it's I with an I Talk Studios. Just put I Talk and then a space and Studios. It's the best. It's one of the best baseball channels out there. It's probably the best. He posts almost every day. It's always a good topic. And he's a good guy, and his name's Isaac, and he's a huge Red Sox fan. Even though you couldn't tell, on his channel, he's very fair. He's very fair on every team. More fair than I would be at times. Thank you, Melissa. You know, my dad's a big Braves fan, so all my family are Braves fans. Because Dad loved them when they were in Boston, and then of course they're on TBS all the time. But the Mets were a Double-A team in Jackson, Mississippi, where I kind of around where I grew up. So I got to see the Jackson Mets play. And of course, they went on to be the New York Mets. These players went up into the farm system. So I was beside myself with joy, to see these big leaguers make it to on TV. So that's how I became a Mets fan. But yeah, Cody, I think you'll really like him. And Isaac's a really cool guy. Like, I got to talk to him a lot afterwards. He's going to come on a More Civilized Age next time too, but he's got a great channel. Oh, Chewie's death is great, and it ruined me because back in '99 when it came out, someone said new Star Wars book has unexpected death, and it said spoilers. I was like, what? What are they going to spoil? No one big dies, and then it said Chewbacca died. I went, what? I found it in the newspaper because they printed it, and so anyway. I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? And so when I was reading it, every page, I was like, no. Oh, no. Yeah, I knew he was going to die. I didn't know when. And I was so nervous about it. So nervous. Hello, Alan. How are you? Hello, Andres Hernandez. How are you? North Carolina? Okay. Oh, Zane Carrick, Vex, and Hernandez, you got it right. Zane Carrick's a great character. That comic book series is perfect. Like, there's 3 comic books I love. I love Dark Empire. That's my favorite. But I also love Tales of the Jedi. That series, that's near perfect too. And then the third near perfect thing, or probably perfect thing, is KOTOR, the comic book by John Jackson Miller. Those three, like if I could have three number ones, that's what it'd be. Because honestly, I can't decide between all three. Legacy by John Ostrander is close, but not in that category of like the ultimate flawless comic series. Dark Times is good too. I really rereading Dark Times. I really enjoy Dark Times. But who's that droid that he's with in Dark Times? He was actually funnier and more enjoyable than I remembered. And Bomo is a really good character. Actually, they have a lot of good characters in Dark Times, so it's another good one. Oh, Captain, hope you feel better. Hope you feel better soon. Oh, thanks, Alan. Alan, if you don't mind, where are you from? I'm from Louisiana. Louisiana. KOTOR is your second favorite. What's your first? Naso Art. I'll be honest. It's probably number 3 for me, but I will not argue for anyone if they say, "Oh, Matt, it should be number 1." I can't argue that. I think it's a fantastic comic book. But those three are, Dark Empire is my number 1, Melissa. It is just because I love it. It's also, no one has Cam Kennedy's art. No one can copy that. And it's just incredible. It's just incredible overall. It's an epic story, even though it got cut short at Empire's End. But but I love Tales of the Jedi. I think it was great. I think Tales of the Jedi is excellent. So it's another good one. Utah. Holy crow, Alan. Utah. I got laid over in Salt Lake City once. And I looked out the window. I was there for like 4 hours or 6. I was there for it was a long layover. And I was going, I should just get an Uber. Well, Ubers didn't exist back then. I said, I should just rent a car and just go visit Salt Lake City just for a couple hours, go eat or something. I kept looking out the window going, I should go somewhere. So because getting laid over in the airport is not technically, oh, I was in Utah once. No, I was in the airport, stuck in the airport. But if I actually go out and eat at Salt Lake City, then I could say I was in Utah. So, but I really wanted to go. Oh, geez, I got to sneeze. Yeah, a lot of people are divided on Dark Empire, but I really enjoy it. I feel the sneeze coming. Hold on. Hold on. Just one moment. Yeah, I had it. Woo! Woo! When I sneeze, I go, ah! You know, it's a big sneeze. All right. Berserk. Yeah, I'm still scared of that. You're too sick to fight me about Dark. And so Dark Empire is not for everyone. I completely understand. Dark Empire is something that I just like. A majority of people really love Tales of the Jedi and really love KOTOR comic book. Republic comics are good, especially when it gets to the Clone Wars. That's when they're the best. They were so before then. Legacy is great. I love Legacy. Crimson Empire, the first one. But Cody, each time they come out with a sequel, it got worse. Like there was no reason for 3. Just Randy Stradley wanted a third one. He wanted it to be like Dark Empire, but never was. I read them, Melissa, shortly when Kevin J. Anderson's books came out. My best friend, when I first met him, I told him I'd bought Kevin J. Anderson's new trilogy. He went, "You need to read Dark Empire." I went, "What, the comic book?" He went, "Yeah, it's tied." I said, "Wait, the comics tie into it?" And so that's when I started reading the comic books. I remember seeing them on the newsstands and going, "Oh, those look nice," but that's not part of the Timothy Zahn canon. For the longest, I'd look at the back of every Bantam book and go, "Does it say Timothy Zahn's?" Yeah, okay. So it's connected to Timothy Zahn's books. I didn't know they were all connecting the books together back then because that was unheard of. Turner, hello from the Philippines. I've told you this before, I'm sure, Turner, but I've got a lot of good. I have coworkers in the Philippines, And it's funny because I've become their favorite trainer. We've had some good times together. And there's another trainer training. It's all what's it called? Virtual. But he said, "Hey man, everyone in my class is asking how you're doing." I was like, good, because it's a great people. I want to go to the Philippines. They don't send us to the Philippines ever, but I would love to go. In fact, a buddy of mine goes every year. He loves the Philippines. And I would love to go, but, I have 4 little kids, so I'm not traveling anywhere anytime soon, but I would love to go. If it was just me, I'd have been there by now. Hey, Kelly, how's it going? How are you, sir? How you been? We need to plan. I keep saying that, but I'm the one. I couldn't do anything today. And tomorrow, next Saturday, I've got a lot of to-do projects around here. Like I'm trying to get house. The attic insulated is the big project. A small project that I'm going to try to do sometime this week is get curtains hung. I hate hanging curtains. I bought curtains. They didn't come with a curtain rod. I have to go buy a curtain rod. I don't know what I need. So I'm going to get my brother-in-law to come over and kind of help me out with that. I know nothing about curtains. I hate putting up curtains, but I need to. One room in the breakfast area, the girls tore up the blinds when we moved in. And we've never replaced them. So, because my wife's not going to do anything about it. So, but I hate it because the sun's always in my eyes when I sit there in the morning. And then, of course, in the winter, it's just super cold by those windows. And it's super warm in the summer. So I got these thermal things that will keep in the cool or keep out the cold and retain the heat or whatnot. I just need to put them up now. Well, see, I didn't know, Alan. I didn't know there was a train, or I would have. But I remember it was a huge layover, and I was so bored, and I was just looking out the window, and I was like, I should go. But I didn't know. And at the time, well, I mean, Alan, you're the only person I know in Utah. So at the time, I didn't know anyone. I don't know anyone, or I would have called them, said, pick me up. I did that once. I flew in. I had this girl I was dating, and it was long distance. I did not want to do a long distance relationship because long distance relationships never work out, in my opinion. I've seen one work out, but most of the time they fall through. So I did not want to do this. She wanted to have a long distance relationship. I said, no. And then finally she convinced me. And then, of course, it didn't work out, right? I mean, she saw someone else. I knew that was going to happen. I even told her that was going to happen. Not being mean, I just say, hey, I just know I can be faithful because I didn't do much. I didn't go out, do anything. And I said, I'm just saying, you're going to miss me, and then you're going to find someone else. No, that would never happen. And it did. But I'd already bought the plane ticket. She wasn't going to tell me. She was going to break up with me when I got there. And her sister goes, that is so wrong. So her sister called me and then put her on the phone and told me. And I said, is that true? And she's like, yeah, sorry. And I was like, wow. So, but I was already coming in. I think it was like the day before or whatnot, or it was too close to change the ticket. So I called a buddy of mine who lived about 2 hours away. And I said, will you come get me? He's like, absolutely, dude. And I spent the whole week with him, and I had a great time. And we're still friends today. Because before that, we were like pen pals. We had met over summer camp, but we were pen pals, I think, or email buddies. I can't remember. This is back before cell phones and stuff. And he came and picked me up and took me to his house. And his family rolled out the red carpet for me, man. I had steak and lobster as a dinner because the father went out, because when he heard I was here, he went and cooked steaks. The wife, his mom, heard I was coming. She went and bought lobster and started boiling lobster. They didn't know that either one was cooking a deal. They went, oh, well, you're getting surf and turf tonight. But they were so excited that I was coming in. They had an older daughter. They really, really wanted me to marry their older daughter. So, and we were friends, and I loved her. I mean, she, as a friend, I loved her. But dadgummit, that girl would not shut up. She talked all the time. That sounds awful. I loved her. We were great friends. I remember I'd hang out with her like it was New Year's Eve, and we hung out together. And her, I can't remember. It was cell phones were around, but all they could do was call and text. And she texted her parents, "Happy New Year. I'm here. By the way, I'm here with Matt Wilkins." He says hello. Well, then they called and they said, put him on the phone. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, hey, good. I just, I came over here. Kelly has a few friends there. And they're like, yeah, no, that's great. We're glad you came and saw her for New Year's. You should come back up and see us. I was like, oh, no. And the thing is, her brother and I are still super close. Like, I love that dude. And we talk a lot during college football season because he's a big college guy. And one day we will meet up again. But I think his sister got married, though, hopefully. But she just talked a lot. She's really nice and everything. But, yeah. But that was really cool because, I didn't want to cancel my ticket the day of. And I was like, well, who's around there? And so that was when you had long distance, 10 cents a minute, calls. And I called him and he said, absolutely, dude. And he took off work that week. I mean, he was super cool about it. And we had a great time. It was like we had a what's it called? A Ferris Bueller moment where his parents weren't in that first night. And he threw a big party. I mean, everyone was there. And we woke up the next morning. He shooed everyone out of the house and he closed the door and went, whew, okay, we got about 4 hours to clean this up before my parents come. I went, why does that matter? He went, oh, they told me absolutely under no circumstance should I have a party while they're gone. I went, Spencer, because I was older and I didn't want to get in trouble. I was like, this is ridiculous. So we went and cleaned up because he was in college at the time and I was already well above. I was probably mid-20s back then. I was so mad. I was like, Spencer, I cannot be involved with this. Like, we even took the trash and drove down the road and dumped it in a dumpster. Because he thought his parents would go through the trash. We laugh about it now, but anyway. Yep, Tom Beach was great for Dark Empire and Tales of the Jedi. Wow, it's not even your top 10 comic books, Nazar. Dark Empire isn't? That's, well, I mean, you probably, wow. Okay. You had a deep dish pizza? Yes, it's not the same, is it, Melissa? I'll be honest. I'll never go to Chicago. But if I ever did, I got to go for the true deep dish pizza because I've had it. There's a Chicago-style pizza in Phoenix. The guy was from Chicago. We had me and Brian Borg from Twin Sons. We had a deep dish pizza. That was the best thing in the world. Brian had never been there before. And I said, hey, what's this place? He went, I think it's Chicago-style pizza, at the deep dish. I went, oh, let's try it. And I said, so is this really from Chicago? I was joking. She went, yeah, the owner's from Chicago. I went, whoa, it was great. It was great pizza. Yeah, and then I'd also try a super dog, a Chicago dog with a pickle in it. Yes. And then I'd probably have to buy scalper tickets, but going to Wrigley Field, a must. I don't know. Is there a Ferris Bueller tour? Because I'd probably do that too. And then what else? I'd probably go see a White Sox game just because it's the White Sox. You don't have to buy a ticket for that. They give them away free at the gate, I bet. Tales of the Jedi is number 3. That's fair. It's my number 2. But that's fair. That's fine. Vex, I am so excited for baseball. Guess what? I think I'm finally going to take the plunge, and I'm getting MLB extra innings. I got to watch when the baseball, and the thing is, I know I'm going to be busy this year, but with extra innings, I found out, and I've never gotten extra innings before, but they already they let you preview. You can go back any games you missed that day. You can go back and watch them at the end of the day. And I was like, oh. Because, if the Mets are playing in the daytime, I'm going to miss that. Or what if I have something that night? Well, the Mets have already finished up playing. No, now I got to avoid, because I'm so used to checking, the scores on my phone. I'll delete the app on my phone. Not set unsub from my reminders, and then just watch the game later if I miss one. So now and then, another buddy of mine who lives around the corner from me is a huge Mets fan too. He loves the Tigers, but Mets are his number 2 team. And I really had a great time watching the playoffs with him this year. And I really want him to hang out with me. And if I get extra innings, he can come over whenever. And I thought we could make it like a once a week thing where we can make hot dogs, nachos, popcorn, all the ballpark food, and just sit and eat and have fun. And maybe ask a bunch of people to come over, have a baseball night. But I'm so ready. I'm so pumped. Are you kidding me? I'm so pumped. Juan Soto in a Mets jersey. Get out of here. Do I have a favorite EU planet, says Siberian Dream? EU planet? No. Remind me of one, though, I may like. Where are the Zeltrons from? Zeltros? That seems like a party planet. Would I recommend reading the Boba Fett young adult novels? No. I think they're terrible. I mean, you should, if they're cheap, get them and read them for yourself. If they're super expensive, avoid. Find a digital copy. Don't pay for that. It's really bad. I really think it's awful. That was a terrible idea. He said it was Mike Richardson. No, Randy Stradley. Yeah, Randy Stradley. That was his baby, though, was Crimson Empire. He wanted it to go 3. Mike Richardson's a dunce, though. Invasion was the only... I wish Invasion never existed. Chewbacca was a decent New Jedi Order comic book. Invasion was pathetic. Pathetic. It was awful. Awful. So bad. I was so excited to see it when it came out because I wanted more of the New Jedi Order. I wanted more of the Vong invasion, the Vong War. Even Nathan P. Butler's short story about Kyle Katarn during the Vong War in Star Wars Tales, I gobbled that up. But goodness gracious. Invasion was terrible. On Dark Tide 2, Alan, I love New Jedi Order. That's my favorite story plotline in the EU. I hear Randy was really nice. Really nice. Yeah. Zahn did not want the comic books included because they had asked him to include those in his his Heir to the Empire trilogy. He went, no. And he always made fun of the cloned emperor was a terrible idea. And he always said that at conventions. Anyone prior to 2013 who saw Timothy Zahn speak, he constantly bashed the cloned emperor. I thought it was the lamest, dumbest story ever. And then it happened in episode 9, and Timothy Zahn doesn't say anything anymore. But that's where the hatred of Dark Empire, I wouldn't say all of it, but a lot of people didn't like Kevin J. Anderson and Dark Empire because Timothy Zahn didn't like them. And he bashed them all the time in conventions. All the time. I knew that because I went to conventions a lot back then. I'd have him sign. I kept losing respect for him every time I heard him. And he did a writer's workshop, and he really had nothing to say in the right. It was the worst writer's workshop I'd ever taken. I took Michael Stackpole's. That was really good. And I regret with my soul I did not take Dave Wolverton's or David Farland's. But his was like all day. I mean, it was a heavy one. It was all day. And I could not give up all my day just to be in the writer's workshop. But when Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions and I went to talk to him for that one lunch hour, I told Jeremy, I said, you know what? I regret not taking his. It was like the most of the time for 6 hours out of the 8-hour day, you were going to be in his workshop. It was an intense one. And I told Jeremy, I said, you know what? Talking to him, I kind of wish I could have done this, but I just didn't have the time. And Jeremy agreed too. He was a fantastic guy to talk to. Hey, Fine Editions, what's up? Fine Editions, I've been watching your videos. I haven't commented, but I've been watching them. Good stuff. Hey, Darth Pause. Hey, Michael, how's it going? Did you play anything? I still haven't played Planet Unknown. I asked my buddy. Oh, he's at the game tonight. Hold on just a moment. This isn't him. That's nice of him. I may be getting a Mets hat now. Tony, are you on the stream right now? Yes, you are. There you are. It is called Old Chicago, Tony. It is. That was the name of the place. How did you know that? Whoa. That was a stupid question. He's from there. That was such a dumb question. How did you know that? Oh, wait. You live there. Yeah, it was called Old Chicago. It was. I just text you back, Tony. I'm sorry. No, I'm looking. I want my buddy to come play. We have President's Day off, Michael. And I'm off all day with the kids all day. But what else is new? But I wanted to come over and play games with me that day because I don't know anyone else who's off. I want to do something fun. He hadn't gotten back to me, but I think either I think he's in the Mardi Gras parade tonight, and that's a big deal. It's over now, but he's probably going to the celebration and party and everything. If he doesn't get back to me by tomorrow afternoon, I'll text him again. But hopefully he'll be able to come over and we'll play all day, which would be great because I want to play Plants Unknown and then a bunch of other stuff. My list is so high of stuff I really want to play. It's so high right now. There's so many things I want to play right now. And then I talked to another buddy of mine because he wants to come in and play Twilight Imperium, which I'm all about, baby. All about some Twilight Imperium. But it'll have to be in March he's coming in. But I want to play Twilight Imperium because he wants to play it for the first time ever. Hey, a live stream with the real Star Wars fan. Thank you, Silva. Thank you. What's up, Quentin? What? Tony, that still cracks me up. I was like, how did you know Old Chicago? That was the name of it. Yeah, always donate Twin Sons Foundation. What they got going on? I haven't even talked to they're going to go ahead and do the well, where is their it's dash doggone it, it's net, not com. Here. Yeah, hold on. Thank you for reminding me of that. Hold on, let me put that in the chat there. Twin Sons. Now, forget the / I accidentally hit the wrong button. Idiot. Twin-Sons.net. Go check them out. Good people. Great people over there. Oh, so at Legends Con, Amelia from Twin Sons, who not many people have seen unless you've seen some exclusive videos when you donated years ago. Amelia and I played board games, Star Wars themed board games today. That day, she came over and she had her R2-D2 tights on, and we played 3-4 different games together that we just filmed it all day long, and we had the best time. Now, she's a mama. She's a mama now, proud mama, and I was going to have her come in just for, I was going to try to convince her to come in to say hello to everyone at the convention, but she's a proud mama. She loves her babies. And she's a good mama, too. So she didn't want to be away from the babies. I said, we'll work something out. but I'll have to go by and see her anyway because I haven't seen her forever. And if you don't, I mean, Dylan and Brian, they're more out there. You see them more. Amelia's more behind the scenes. And she used to have her own channel years ago. She deleted it. And it was a good channel, just no one was watching it. But this is back before Twin Sons. But Amelia is just like a big smile. It's the opposite of Dylan. Dylan's Mr. Grumpy Rain Cloud. And Amelia is a sun, a fiery sun. She's so happy all the time. Honestly, Brian, Dylan, and Amelia are just three awesome people. And it's nice to have, really, those are the best of us right there. Those are the best of us. Oh, you know what? Oh, never mind. I'll do that later. Yeah, the Ferris Bueller tour. Quentin's an Orioles fan. My cousin is up in Baltimore. Orioles are a good team. Yeah, Cal Ripken. Big one, but they got a good team. If they can hold on to it, they're in a hard division, though, with the Yankees, but I cheer for the Orioles. Quentin, it's the Mets. They'll always come up short. What are you talking about? Dirge is great. I agree. I have never played the X-Wing tabletop game. I played the other one, Armada, with Brian Borg from Twin Sons, Turner, and it's the most hilarious story ever. I was playing it wrong. I stacked my order chips backwards, and so I did everything out of turn. But it turned out that it was so unexpected that I destroyed Brian. I destroyed him in the first round. And Brian is probably the best sport in the world. He went, well, good game. No, I went, Brian, I did this by accident because I was set to lose. But he goes, no, it surprised me. So I'd have been like, you lucky dog. You didn't even know what you were doing and you won. But Brian's a really nice guy. But I did feel, I was like, oh, man, I stacked these backwards. Hey, Brennan. Ryloff. Really? Oh, man, I don't know if I'd want to go there. Hello. I don't know. Arav Gupta. Hello. Oh, just as the planet goes, Ryloth. Oh, the burning sun, the shade. Yeah, that is kind of cool. Yeah, Zon he goes with whoever's paying the check, man. I can't blame him, but yeah. Oh, Invasion. Naza is the worst. It's an embarrassment. It's a black mark. They should never have made it. Darth Paul's I wish. I don't play many of the I don't play any video games anymore. You ran out of time last night. Michael's time is so important. He ran out of time. Zachary Swan. Yeah, a lot of people, Zach. No, I want to save this. I want to save the topic. I have an idea. It's a little crazy. But we'll save it for another stream. I have an idea. Because a lot of people said, man, I really wish it was more about meeting the other fans at Legends Con than it was about the guests. And for me, it's 60-40. I wanted to meet the people there over the guests. I wanted to meet the guests too and get autographs. That's what I really wanted. But meeting everyone, that'd have been big. And everyone I've talked to said it was more 70-30 or 90. Someone said 90-10. Like he was really wanting to meet everyone. So we'll see. I have an idea. Ooh, Alan, comic books for Star Wars. A lot of people are going to give you a lot of suggestions. For me, Knights of the Republic is really good. Tales of Jedi is just excellent. It's a story that takes place 4,000 years before. And at first you're like, I don't really think I care about this. But after a while, you really start getting into that story. It really picks up, I think, because I did not want to read it. I did not. I remember Bruce gave me those after I read Dark Empire. I was like, why do I care what happened 4,000 years? And the characters just started to grow on me, and I really started loving them. And of course, I like Dark Empire. That's a Han, Leia, Luke story. Yeah, Dylan is pretty fun. I give him a hard time, but he's pretty fun. Would I cheer for the Pirates, Tony? Yes. Anyone playing the Yankees, I'll cheer for them. But you know, if it's not a team I care about, then yeah, I'll cheer for the Pirates. Why not? Kevin J. Anderson. I think he was friends with Tom Veach, and he wanted to include the comic books. He thought that was a great idea, and Timothy Zahn did not. So maybe it was something George Lucas was still pushing for, because George Lucas loved the comic books, and so Kevin J. Anderson agreed, and he and Tom Veach teamed up and made some good stories together. Doesn't Ryloth have Twi'leks? Good point. Yeah, I saw somewhere someone goes, I don't really feel Thrawn's being rewritten, even though he admitted that. Well, I mean, besides the fact that he doesn't look at art anymore and decipher his, well, that was Thrawn. He looked at the artwork and knew, whoa, look out. Someone unlocked the chair. Sorry, the girls unlocked the chair. He looked at the artwork and he could tell. Hold on. Oh, that didn't work. Hello. Where did the girls? Hold on. The girls mess with the chair. Gurgy. I'm going to spend forever doing this. Where's the lock? Now it leans all the way back. That's awful. Anyway, this thing is way off too. Oh my goodness. That's crooked. I look like a Batman villain from the 1960s show there. See my Topps baseball? That's nice. Thanks, no one, for commenting on it. Yeah, it basically, he doesn't look at the artwork though anymore. Well, yeah, that was Thrawn's character. And then the other thing is, he didn't say this, but you're really thinking, now I've never seen Rebels, but supposedly they outsmart him at every turn. Really? Han, Luke, and Leia barely, and the whole Republic barely escaped with their lives. In fact, they kept saying, everyone references as Thrawn being the closest one to overthrow the entire New Republic. Yet he can't get them pesky kids. They always outsmart him. Thrawn is different. He is different. So, yeah. But the guy's like, I think that's just like my Thrawn. I think they nailed his character right. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was going to be a part 2, but Benjamin, Michael, and Benjamin said he had a good time talking to you too. But Benjamin told me after we recorded it, he went, I'm going to be honest. When you told me about this subject, I was not excited. He said, this is one of my favorite podcasts we've ever done. I went, really? Wait till you see 400. Live. Prince of the Universe 400. Live. You're going to see me live a lot in March. At least 3 times. Live. Maxwell, which author was I most excited to meet at Legends Con? Maybe John Whitman, because I really love his Galaxy of Fear. Dadgummit, that's really hard. Paul and Hollis Davids. I really like the Jedi. I know I kind of goof on it a little bit, but I just love it. I can't believe they got him too. So maybe a tie between those two, if I can say that. I mean, Kevin Jansen, Troy Denning, Michael Stackpole. You kidding me? Get out of here. I love them. I have an easier time telling you who I wasn't interested in meeting. because I thought the guest list was that good. Yeah, Zach, I will post my idea on A More Civilized Age coming out in March. I'm still looking into something. Nazo, I'm the only one who thinks Legends Expo is doomed. But as I said, if it makes, everyone can come in here and say, I told you so, Matt. But I am the only one right now who will not be surprised when they cancel. But we will see. Dylan's going to be there. He said he was going to go. Well, Cody, I did hear that the Zon new canon books are the ones that have sold the best. I hear they're the ones that have sold the best. Timothy Zahn retains his fans big time. They're loyal. Zahn fans are super loyal to him. Which comic series or which lasted longer? Jedi Academy, just to do more adventures. I agree. That's the one I wanted to see more. X-Wing, yeah, you wanted to see him wrap up everything, but they had so many chances, Maxwell. I had given up hope that X-Wing would ever redeem itself. So the Jedi Academy is what I'd go for. Luke had some pretty cool designs, and Dark Empire. Yes, he did. I agree. Anyone but the Yankees, Melissa knows what's right. That's right, Melissa. All right, Tony, have a good night. I'm probably reading this way too late. Well, that's the other person I want to meet was Barbara Hamley. Zach, I see your thing about Children of Jedi. Because I love Callista. I'm a huge fan. And I want to tell her I was for Luke and Callista. I hate Mara Jade too. That's what I wanted to tell her and give her a big hug. See, there's so many good people there. So many good people I want to see. Where did you meet John Jackson Miller, Alan? That's awesome you got him to sign that. Kenobi's excellent. It's an excellent book. Excellent. They have calls that, yeah, they pulled the pin. I don't know how they did it. Oh, there it is. Got it. Ha, ha, ha. I just found it. I was looking for it. And they've been touching the mic. They've been messing up a lot lately, so I'm going to have to come down on them. They can't be over here. We had to share this room with their toy room. Eventually, when the girls get older, I think we're going to move them into this big room here. And then I'm going to move my games, my books, and this station into another room. Eventually. It won't be anytime soon. Lots of comments. Hello, Dyed Ghost Fish. Captain Keeley says Ryloth is also his favorite planet. Galaxy of Fear is awesome. Oh, Jude Watson would have been a great guest. Yeah, but I heard that they couldn't get a hold of her. She's very hard to get a hold of. And they kept asking, what's this about? What's this for? Okay, we'll get back to you. And they never did. Quentin, I never liked Karen Travis, but maybe it's just me and you, brother. Is that with that meanie named Ryan Kennel? Yes, it is. He was on there. Ryan was on his channel again, telling people about the EU, and they should try it out. I did see the Fantastic Four trailer. I don't think anything of it. Marvel is not dead, but I'm just not going to go to the theater anymore. They're not getting my theater money anymore. Young Jay Knights is good. Oh, he was at Salt Lake City Con. Oh, nice. Death Troopers is good too. Oh, bye, Cody. Probably that's late too, but oh well. Yeah, Barbara Hamley said she was tasked with making a match with Luke. And when her book came out, she said somebody got super upset and said, no, Luke needs to be with Mara. And so they nixed her idea, and she was kind of bitter about it. And that someone, she didn't say who, is Zahn. Definitely. He seemed a little entitled. Zahn thought that his books were here and everyone else was here. If he could have a Z canon, he would have. I like some of the man's books, but he was very arrogant every time I met him. Yeah, Zach, I'm a big Kevin Janderson fan. I just like the way he writes. I just love everything he does. But Young Jay Knights, a lot of people, I remember that was the first time when I heard people say, oh, I got into the new canon or the EU by Young Jay Knights. And I was like, what? And I heard a lot of people say that back in the day. I was like, wait a minute. No, that's not how you get in the EU. You must read Heir to the Empire first. That's what I thought. And then I realized how wrong I was and how you can jump in anywhere, really. Someone's first one was, this is what got them into the EU, Crystal Star. I heard someone say that. They weren't kidding either. Because they love Vonda and McIntyre. She did Star Trek. And when she wrote a Star Wars book, they read that and went, oh, that was good. I want to read more. You thought Crystal Star was good? And she was serious. It's still her favorite. But Vonda and McIntyre was her favorite author. Someone told me Millennium Falcon was their first one. Tim from Minox Nest, way back in the day. How he got into the EU was Millennium Falcon. Zom. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, really? You think New Jedi Order is becoming the new Thrawn trilogy? Because everyone just reads that one and thinks they've read everything. Interesting. I didn't know that. Well, the previous events, what, of every chapter or of the past book? Because back then they used to come out within a year of each other or months, I guess. Yeah, Andres, she said that at the first Legends Con. Yeah, Crystal Star is not very good. It's not the worst book. Not very good. Well, Tanner, I talked about it earlier. It's one of my favorites. Dark Empire is. Han Solo at Stars. I like Han Solo. I like the Brian Daley Han Solo books. Red Harvest is a good one. If you like horror, that's a great one. Cloak of Deception. Small Time Republic Cloak of Deception. Look at Alex. He says, good evening. Good evening. And gives me $2. That's a rock star. Not a ghost. Alex. I'm kidding. Thank you, Alex. Alex, always good. Alex, I thought about you the other. Oh, no. You're in my Stratomatic game. You got some good base hits today. I played some Stratomatic today. I have a game, Stratomatic Baseball. I put all my friends in there, and we play the teams off. And Alex got in there. So he's on the same team as Brennan. But he did well. That's why I thought about you today. Brandy Brown? I didn't realize that. Is that really how they did in Young Jedi Knights? I didn't realize that. Funny. What would happen if Palpatine had possessed Anakin Solo? I don't really go into what ifs. Eventually they would have defeated him, right? And it would have haunted Anakin. You know, kind of like it did in Junior Jedi Knights. Dark Forces 2. Yeah, a lot of people got in, Slider, into the video games. Video games were a big influence in the EU. Jedi Apprentice. Yeah, that's a good one. I've heard some people say Jedi Apprentice series. Got that. Ryan, I think his first book was the Jedi Apprentice series. And he loved it, which was great. Darth Bane trilogy is a good one. A lot of people like Shatterpoint. I don't, but a lot of people do. Oh, Alex, you're too kind with your money there. Don't give me anything then. Galaxy of Fear and Jedi Prince. Really, wow. Wow. Young Jedi Knights was you, okay. Am I going to Legends Expo? No. And neither is anyone else. It's going to get canceled. I keep saying that. I'm so negative. They're not going to make. Again, everyone, mock me when I'm wrong. Mock me. I'll take it. I'll take my medicine. I just don't think they're not connected to anyone in the fandom. They're just a joke, in my opinion. What did Dylan say we have to say when we say something like that? Allegedly. Allegedly, they're not really Legends fans. Allegedly, they don't know what they're doing. You got with 2003 Clone Wars, Vex. Nice. You hated the micro series. I did. Sabrina Dream. I did not want to watch it. I pouted and grumped about it. And Bruce at the time was well, we weren't roommates, but he goes, dude, we gotta watch this together. I was like, dude, I don't want to see this. This is like garbage. And I remember after the first one, I went, that wasn't so bad. And then we kept watching it. I thought it was excellent. I have not seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Tanner, to be honest, I probably will not. I just don't have any desire. Well, I don't think they'd make a Legends video game. I'd be happy, but no, I probably wouldn't play it just because I don't play video games. If they wrote a short story about it, I'd be all in it. Your first book was The Joiner King. Wow, Quentin, that's amazing. Thoughts? I haven't seen the Old Republic cinematic trailers. However, when I'm done with rewatch and I'm done reviewing all the role-playing stuff, I think someone suggested I go through and watch them all and give my thoughts on it, like the story mode of all the video games, and that's a good idea. Captain Neely, please mock me. That's fine. I'm the only one that thinks they're going to cancel. I'm the only one who will not be surprised when they don't have a convention. What's my favorite story arc from the Republic comic books? Has got to be the Battle of Jabin. Easy. Alex is about naked Palpatine. He's right. You hate the term Legends. Look at it this way. Someone told me that Legends is really here, Alex. I'll get rid of you now. Thank you. Legends is really a seal of excellence. When I made a donation for Twin Sons, the kids go, he says, so anything with this thing, that means that's the good storyline with the Legends banner. That means it's a good story. I went, yes. Because he said he went to buy more after he read the ones in his library, but he didn't know what connected to the story or not. He said he saw a ton of books there. I said, well, if they have the Legends banner on them, that's part of the old EU story. He went, oh, so this Legends banner means they're the good storyline. When you look at it that way, yeah. Hey, Scott. Oh, wait. Missed this thing. Catching up. Let's see. Kyle Katarn should have totally been in more books. I agree. Not just the Dark Forces books. They're kind of hard to find now. And they weren't as good as they could have been. Kyle Katarn, you made Kyle Katarn paperback, just a single novel, it would have sold like hotcakes back in the day. They missed out not making more books based off the very popular video games. Legends Expo. It's a con of the Kyle owns Legends Con. He got a new board. He thanked the old board, but he wanted a new board. And the new board created their own one, but they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no money because Kyle put up the money for the first one, and they don't have Kyle. So is one of them going to put up the money? I doubt it. I think it's going to fall. But again, I am the only one, Zach, that thinks that. Wow. Scott, Jedi Prince, Jedi shirts. Excuse me, Jedi shirts. Savage of the Empire were your first three. Wow. Fine Editions, are you still on here? I loved what he said about, let's talk about Zizor's P. Diddy moment. That was hilarious. I laughed so hard at that. My favorite from Star Wars Tales is probably Nathan Butler's one about Kyle Katarn during the New Order. That's a good one. There may be one or two in there, but that's the only one I can remember, so that's obviously my favorite one. The micro series was excellent. Thoughts on the 3D Clone Wars series? Well, I mean, Zach, I'm doing my rewatch right now, episode per episode every week. So, like, the first couple of seasons were good. Not all of them. I hate Ahsoka. And I'm trying to be as fair as I can on those assessments. But just to tell you, I can't wait to start talking about Tartakovsky's Clone Wars series, which is going to happen. All this stuff's going to come out really fast because after that, Droids went 1 season, Ewoks went 2 seasons. Then there's the 2 Ewok movies, and then the holiday special, and then I'm done. Thank you, Vex. Yeah, Slider. This kid told me that. He went, so if it has the Legends banner on it, that means it's the good story, right? And that's when I thought, oh, yeah, that's true. That's like a seal of excellence, in a way. So it depends on how you look at it. But yeah, he came to that conclusion. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, it means you're going to read good Star Wars. I can't watch Star Trek anymore. I watched Picard season 3. It was really good. Lightning only strikes once. The new Star Trek just sucks overall. I can't do it. Rich Hanley is a big Star Trek fan, and I love him to death, but I can't watch. We used to talk Star Trek all the time but I just couldn't do the new Star Trek anymore. It's too terrible. Oh, using those gift cards. Yeah, I use Amazon gift cards to buy chia seeds for my oatmeal. And then, what else I get? Oh, I got the curtains through that. And I really want a neon New York Mets sign. But I'll just have to save up for that again. Ooh, I'm trying to catch up. I'm behind in the comments here. Yeah, they need their Aldridge. There's a lot of things they need to reprint, but they just never will, and it's sad. Like I said, on that case, I would start looking for digital copies. It's just way too much online. To me, it is. Yeah, Captain Keeley, I hope you're being sarcastic, but when R2D2 and C3PO teach democracy to goober aliens, yeah. Oh, see, Vex didn't like the Kevin J. Anderson trilogy. Well, a lot of people agree with you, Vex. I don't. Oh, really? Which video was it, Scott? Which video did Fine Editions get? He's not here anymore. He moved on. He said, I got to make trending videos. Well, good for him. I'm really happy. Jedi Quest is good, but Jedi Apprentice is better. That's correct. I like the Ewok films. I'm a real big fan of that. Favorite Star Trek film? Star Trek 2. Get out of here. Wrath of Khan. Too easy. That's funny, Melissa. you know, Alan, you don't know this, but how I started into the EU was I was reading Star Trek books. And because my dad's secretary is a Star Trek fan. And for my birthday, I was 13, and she wanted to get me a Star Trek book. She couldn't find one, but Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire had just come out in paperback, and the second one was in hardback. But the first one, it was in paperback, and she bought me that for my birthday. I remember I shelved it, didn't want to read it, got bored over the summer, and read it and loved it. And I wanted to buy the second one, but it was in hardback, and I didn't want to pay that much for it, so I had to wait forever, like later on that fall or winter when it came out in paperback. And when the third one came out in hardback, I had to buy it in hardback because I had to read how it ended. I loved it so much. I love Quentin. Yeah, you and me both, brother. Kevin J. Anderson just writes the way I love. I love his Doom books too. Jeremy from Super Chainsaw Production tells me he's 50-50 on the Kevin J. Anderson Doom books, but I love every one but one. I think Winds of Dune is terrible, but all the other ones are excellent. Excellent. I love them. I just like Kevin J. Anderson's style, I guess. Well, see, Vex, for me, the Jedi Academy trilogy is still in my top 10. I just loved it. And I mean, and it's okay. I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong. I'm not saying that. Everyone has their own opinions. I'm fine with it. I don't care about that. That's fine. People can hate it. I mean, people can hate your favorite thing. That doesn't make it mean it's bad. It just means majority of people hate it. And the majority of people, there's a lot of Kevin J. Anderson hate. Back in the day, I used to argue with Kevin J. Anderson haters. There's a lot of Karen Travis supporters on StarWars.com and the forums. I always bash Karen Travis and always cheer Kevin J. Anderson. Back in the day when you thought that mattered. Republic Commando's awful. Legend Sucks video? That's funny. Bad title, but all right. I hated I, Jedi, though, Nezzo. And that's a lot of people's number one favorite novel. That's Brian Borg's favorite novel. Yeah, Tom Veach and Kevin Jansen really worked well together on that series at the end. It was really good. And when Veach got ousted, Kevin J. Anderson would still call Veach and said, what was the – he got Veach's story and his vision, and he followed through on how Veach would have ended it, even though Veach was out. Well, Children of the Jedi, yeah, how could they tell? I mean, there is, when you think about it, Truce of Bakura, right? Where someone's essence was in a machine. So was his essence, and Callista's essence was in a machine. So was it really Nico's? He said it wasn't. But they couldn't tell. You know, it was all weird. I don't really like that type of thing either, but it had already been established in the EU, so it is what it is. Lava walking Luke. Yeah, that's funny. I remember that. With is it Gantoris? Was it Gantoris planet, if I'm right? Early Trek books. That's what I used to read, was the early original series Trek books. I loved them. I was a kid back then, but I loved them. Well, even though people hate Kevin J. Anderson, a lot of people do like Darksaber. That's the one exception I hear from a lot of people. They love Darksaber. And Darksaber is probably his best. Oh, you like Kevin J. Anderson's comic work? Yeah. I thought he did good in the comic books too. Hey, Justin, how's it going? I'm doing good. When did I say that I respect her for fleshing out the Mandalorian culture? Because that's one of the, if I did, I misspoke. Let me walk back those comments. Because I hate her books. She thinks she's all about Mando, and that's what annoyed me. She thought she was the authority on Mando. Everyone treated her like she was. And I just don't like her. I was called a Tally fan, and I was annoying too. So I probably deserved it. Yeah, Light Cider was fun. I'm glad people got that came out. And I'm glad people got to see it on my shelf the whole time I had it. I couldn't tell. I was told when I got my copy, I was told I may never speak of it again. I may not speak of it, show it, or anything. So it was up there on the shelf the whole time. You can see it, actually. You didn't know what it was. But then I messed up. What was it? Noah did a video, and I'm talking to everyone to the side, and I forgot to remove it, and you can see Light Cider. You can see it. It even says Light Cider. That was totally by accident. Because whenever I rarely did side shots of my book collection, but when I did, I'd take Light Cider out, and I just forgot. And the thing is, if I would have caught that, I would have deleted the video, because I was told under no conditions, because Veach would have been angry that thing got released. He did not want that to be released, sadly. I'm glad it did, but Veach didn't want it released. He didn't, because of how Lucasfilm treated him. And I get it. I totally get it. No one gets the story if they're not going to pay me for it. I get it. But I'm glad we got to see it. Veach had a problem with a few things in the direction of Star Wars. Kind of royalties a little bit that he wasn't technically allowed to be paid for. However, the contracts were a little loose and sketch. And so he had a big falling out with Lucasfilm over it. And that's why Empire's End only went 2 issues instead of 6. And that's why he was taken off the Tales of the Jedi comic book. And Kevin J. Anderson had to finish it. It's sad. But Veach was angry at Lucasfilm for the rest of his life, as are some other authors too. Yes, it was Candoris. Man, I'm so behind if you're telling me that now. The Star Wars debater says Noah is the hero of the EU movement. Good luck with that one. I talked to Noah today. I sent him a message today. So, I think in Children of the Jedi, Luke gets his cake and eats it too. Since he tries to teach Cray, she has to let go of Nikos. But then he gets to say, Callista, he didn't have a life lesson of his own. Well, he thought he'd given her up too, but he didn't. It was a big surprise. And I arm pumped Zach when I read that. I can see your point, but Children of the Jedi is still fine for me. I really wanted Barbara Hamley to sign my stuff, though. I'm so disappointed. That's a big one, too, for me. A lot of people love Young Jedi Knights. Nazza, that's a good point. A lot of people love that. They would say that's his best, too. I agree. One of my earlier EU reviews. Well, then I retract that statement. Maybe I was just trying to be nice. I don't remember. I mean, I believe you. I just don't feel that way. How would I rank each book? Darksaber is the best by leaps and bounds. Then Children of the Jedi. And then Planet of Twilight's just weird. It's weird. It is so off the wall bonkers. See, Ghostfish doesn't like it, but that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, he's in the majority who didn't like Kevin J. Anderson. Oh, I give more credit to Tom Veach all the way. All the way. Even Kevin J. Anderson will even tell you the story when he took it over was Tom Veach's idea. He just pushed it through. So Veach gets most of the credit. Yeah. Except for Redemption. I think that was all Kevin J. Anderson. And it's a good story, but now rereading it, I like the original ending better. Even though I don't mind Redemption, the original ending is what I kind of like better. Who do I think is the true architect of? I guess the authority has to go to Karen Traviss. I just don't like her, so I guess it has to go to Karen Traviss if you put it that way. It was Talifan because the Taliban was big, so she called everyone Talifans when they'd rail against her. So, but it's kind of weird that we were interacting with the author, right? And trash talking her. I guarantee you I trash talked her. I guarantee you I trash talked her and got attacked. Rightfully so, though. It's probably being a jerk. Well, it's not. Veach wasn't looking for getting payment. He just felt like he really got screwed from Disney. I mean, from from Lucasfilm. So that was more of that. Oh, good. You saw other people have it. Good. Excellent. That's how you knew it existed. Good. Yeah, a few people had found it after me. But because someone found out a long time ago, because he says, Matt, I found something, but I'm not supposed to talk about it. I went, Light Cider? He went, yeah. And I went, I've had it the whole time. Look at my shelf from day one. He went, oh, he was looking at the videos like, oh my gosh. I was like, he said, I see it now. I said, yeah. I told him where it was. I said, it's like the Easter egg. There were 3 Easter eggs when I did Matt's Expanded Universe. One was whenever it was a short story from the Star Wars Insider, I would always make a joke about Yub Nub being one hungry Ewok, because Hungry Ewok online was where you could download all the digital, everything, every copy of any Star Wars story told. In fact, there was some other stuff that was added after my reviews. They had all the Savudu short stories, all the Star Wars Insider short stories. Everything was Hungry Ewok. But I didn't want to share the link with everyone because eventually it did get shut down. So, but back then it was always open. So I would just say, he's eating bologna. He's one hungry Ewok. And I'd talk about the Star Wars Insider short story. And that was the Easter egg. And then the third one was, and only Dylan knew this because I told him a long time ago. And Dylan just shook his head. But whenever I mispronounced someone's name or got something wrong, on the first video, yes, that was by accident. I got it wrong. Or just the way I pronounce it. But when so many people said, Matt, it's pronounced like this, then the rest of them, I did on purpose. I would double down on future videos and purposely mispronounce their name for the rest of the time. Except one time I messed up in a video during the Callista trilogy, and I called her Callista instead of Callistia because I said it in like the first review or something. I was like, it's Callista. Okay, that's fine. So then I started saying Callistia the whole time on purpose. But then in that video, I mess up and say, and so Callista, and you see me, I go, because it looks like I'm thinking, but I'm really mad at myself because I just said her name and I didn't want to do that. But or I can tell there's a pause in my face because it's very brief. But that was me going, dang it, I said it right. Because I was trying to double down, and Dylan thought that was the stupidest thing. I was like, well, they keep me, because the first time I mispronounced it, that was by mistake. After that, I just doubled down on purpose. Even though, like Meg from Meg Reviews calls Kip during Kipe, I don't correct her. That's always how she read that. Like Talon Card, for some reason, I always call him Talon Cardet. Because I thought was like French. Cardet. His Talon Cardet, you know. That's how I thought how his name was spelled. It's Card. I always said Cardet is what I thought, like French or something. That's how I always pronounced it. I never listened to the audiobooks. I still haven't. The only Karen Travis book I liked was, which one did she write? No Prisoners or Wild Space? Whichever one she wrote there was pretty good. Oh, the radio play for Tales of the Jedi? Yeah, that was sad. You know, I did listen to a few of those. The audio for Dark Empire 1, some of the Tales of the Jedi, and the radio adaptations of Star Wars, which A New Hope has one of my favorite lines in it that Brian Daly wrote, I think. I can't remember who. I think it was Brian Daly, but it was, I don't quite follow you. So he said, you better give me the money now while you still can, if you know what I mean, or whatever. And Dodonna goes, I don't quite follow you, Captain Solo. He went, if you did, you'd be a lot safer. Hey, no, he said, if you did, you'd live a lot longer. Meaning, if you get off this planet, off Yavin, before it blows up, you know, because he had no faith that the rebels were going to pull this off. I thought that was a funny line. Should have been in the movie. Yeah, the Kamsa Salyer background for Light Cider was really good. And the thing is, now when you read that in between Dark Empire 1 and 2, you're not as lost. Dark Empire 2, I was completely lost. Who is Cam? What happened? How did he become Luke's apprentice? What is going on here? And that's because the book was supposed to come out in between the two. And even Dave Dorman was going to do artwork for it. And he knows about it. He talked to me about Light Cider, and I couldn't even tell him that I had a copy. Even though I probably could have, I guess. Yeah, Light Cider you can find on, I think, for free on download at StarWarsTimeline.net, Joe Bongiorno's site. He has a lot of that hard to find stuff. The Hungry Ewok. Yeah, you remember that one? Oh, did it go down? Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, the Hungry Ewok was great. Yeah, CGH. I remember the Hungry Ewok was great, wasn't it? In fact, there was a story. I tracked down Aldrich Tolliver, and I asked him. I said, "Death on the Slave Pits of Lord. Do you still?" It's the only short story I couldn't find. He said, "I don't have it, but search online. It should be somewhere up there." I said, "It's not. I've looked everywhere." And then I happened to do a search. He uploaded it, and then it disappeared. It disappeared. Death in the. You can probably find it somewhere. I know there's some places where it's still around, but it was nowhere to be found until Audric Tolliver wrote me back and said, "Check online. It's probably online." I went, "No, it's not, dude." But he uploaded it, so I'm almost positive. Oh, Vex. Anyone who's 10 years older than me or more hate the Ewoks usually. Because when they saw Jedi, they were, older, and they thought, Ewoks are for teddy bear, they're space teddy bears, they're for kids. Me, 6 years old, I'm like, yeah! And the 16-year-olds are like, this is kiddie. This is stupid. So I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. You asked Abeloth to be my Valentine. That is hilarious. Yeah, Talon Karad. Karad. Yeah. Talon Karad. But that's how I thought it was Talon. Yeah. That's right. I did think it was Talon too. She wrote No Prisoners. Thank you. I mean, Karen Travis's what was that series she wrote? Fate of the Jedi. It was okay. I think she was the weakest of the three authors, but it was fine. I actually like Wild Space too, Nazo. Even though I had Jeremy from Super Chainsaw Productions, his dad was actually reading that at the time of the wedding, and me and him discussed it. His dad is super cool. His dad likes like all of the history of Middle Earth stuff. I mean, I kind of, if I'd have known all this, I probably would have married into the family. Jeremy has a sister, but his dad, like when his dad was talking history of Middle Earth to someone, I was like, "You read history of Middle Earth, dude?" He was already up here. But when I found out he was a deep, deep, deep Tolkien nerd, I mean, be still my heart. I really did. I was like, because I heard him talk about something that was in the history of Middle Earth and not in the new books. And I was like, and I turned around and said, "Hey, are you talking history of Middle Earth? Book of Lost Tales 2? The something?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You've read them?" I said, "All of them." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Even Peoples of Middle Earth." He went, "Well, you know what I liked about that? I liked the Flower and Forest." I said, "I did too." I wanted to hug him and never let go. He's such a great guy too. Super smart guy, but he loves history of Middle Earth. So, which I don't think I've ever had a conversation with someone about history of Middle Earth like that. I was so happy. When that happened, it was like an hour before the wedding. I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it. I wanted him to bring up the subject again so we could talk more about the history of Middle Earth 12-volume series. I wanted to stay an entire week. Maybe his dad will want to go on vacation somewhere together. We'll go on a cruise. Oh, how about this? An EU cruise. We just all decide to go on a cruise together. It's actually not a bad idea. That's so lame. But I'd do it. I'd do it if all you guys are going. Cruise. All the food's paid for. You have to pay for a plane ticket maybe to get in, depending on what port it is. I would prefer Galveston or Mobile. Those are both 5-6 hours away from me. But that would be great. EU cruise. Such a dumb idea. I'd do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I would. The missus would go too, only because she wants to go on a cruise. Not that she wants to hang out with EU nerds. I don't really care how some names are mispronounced. Some people say, oh, you mispronounced it wrong. I don't care. That's how I read it, and I don't care. What was the other thing I did? Oh, I called, what's her name from New Jet Order. I kept calling she a he in the very first review. And then I just doubled down, man, on every single one. I loved it. People were so irate. It's a she. And I kept saying he. Yeah, Daly did write Han Solo well, Go Fish. I agree with that. Siberian Dream, when Han shot him out the airlock, it was Tom, right? Thom, Thom or whatever. That's one of my favorite moments, probably it's one of my favorite Han Solo moments. One of them. I mean, New Jet Order had a lot of good ones. But that's a really good scene. That's a really good scene. Because when he looks at him, he goes, yeah. Or he says something. What does he say? And then he punches that airlock and just watches his face as he gets sucked. Wonderful. Wonderful. That is Han. That is the man who shoots first. Yeah, Alan, I hate that. And there is not one out there. I mean, Alan, when I don't have kids debate, when my kids are self-sustainable, I'll try to find a way to get that stuff back up. Not that I was involved with Hungry Ewok. Look out. But I'll try to find a way to get that back out there. Because those magazines are impossible. They're way too expensive. There needs to be a better way. I mean, Tahiri is with the dark side at this point. She's kind of under Jason's control, and she's kind of flirting with Ben a little bit. Yeah, it's weird, it's perverse. What is the dark side, though? Okay? You know, she's trying to appeal to his adolescence hormones or whatnot. But it is really gross, right, when it comes off and sleazy. But she's a dark Jedi at this moment. So, yeah, not really the best idea, but in the context, okay. I'm not saying I like the idea, but in the context, I can understand. And it's not for that long either. That scene is not that long. I think it's overhyped. Yeah, they're overblowing it, I think. Do I know the story of Daggoroth? No. Is that a Star Wars story? Is that an EU story? Hold on. Oh, you're talking about Tolkien. Dirty, dur. Yeah. Yeah, he's in the no, he was in one I just read. The Nature of Middle Earth. He's in the Silmarillion. No. What's the well, maybe he is in the Silmarillion, but I think he's in one of the yeah, no, I know him. He's in the Silmarillion, and I believe because there's one book I just got not too long, like last year, called The Nature of Middle Earth. And I just read that one. It was a guy who found a bunch of collective writings that had never been republished because they had been published over in Europe or overseas, and they'd never been published in the United States. And so he carefully pieced them together with Christopher Tolkien and then brought it out back in 2021. I didn't know about this till like early 2024. I think I bought this book. So late 2023. But I watched an interview by the person and they said, "Do you like the movies?" And he went, "Not really." And I was like, I'm buying this book. And Dagger Dagoroth is mentioned in that. Now, he probably mentioned in a few other things too, but Silmarillion, I think. Yeah. He was a Morgoth guy, underling, right? Servant. It's been a while. Yeah. What vexes? What's the destination? I don't know. Go to Cozumel. I don't care where we go, really. That would be fun, though. If you think about it, we'd all be on a cruise. There's all the food you can and all the drink. You can't have soda. Gotta be sweet tea, lemonade, water, juice, Hawaiian punch. I don't know. But then we could gather together, talk EU. We could go on the beach and talk EU, have fun, do games. Yeah, let's do an EU cruise. Let's call it the EU cruise. I'd totally do that. Zach would do that. Your southeastern U.S. My wife would go, but she's like, I'm going, but I'm not gonna hang out with your friends. Okay. So Zach, your wife can hang out with my wife. I'd totally do it in a heartbeat. EU expedition. Let's do it. Yes, small time. I let him record me. He said, "Can I post this?" I went, "I don't care. Go ahead. I'm having fun." Because in my opinion, small time, that is the last wedding I will ever be a part of. Jeremy asked me to be in his wedding. It was my 23rd wedding I'd ever been in. And this was years ago. I said to my wife, I will never be in another wedding again. And for the past 3 years, I have been in a groomsman in 3 weddings. I'm way too old to be the groomsman in weddings now, but I was so thankful for each opportunity. So who's getting married this year? No one. I don't think I'll be a groomsman again. I think that because every time for each of those last weddings, those last 3 years, I sit down in a quiet place and I soak in the moment. You know, bonding with the groomsmen, doing the cheering on the groom. Everyone's younger than me. Well, Jeremy's there. I had some people close to my age, but they were all at least 10 years younger than me. But bonding, having fun, living that moment. Because when you're one of the groomsmen, you're one of the wedding party, you know, you're not just a guest. And those moments are gone before you know it. Those moments are gone. And I remember for Jeremy's wedding, I sat there on the front porch overlooking this beautiful Mount Shasta. He's up in North California, and thinking, if this is the last wedding I'm a part of, it's been a great day. I had a great time. It was awful going home. I didn't sleep. I broke my record. I was up for 36 hours. No, it was more than that because we woke up early that morning. I was up for, it was 36 hours. I will never do that again. I was shaking by the time I'd gotten home. No, when I got on the plane finally, I finally went to bed, but I was shivering and it wasn't cold. I mean, my whole body was just breaking down. There was nothing. And I was so tired, but I couldn't sleep because the airport they didn't have a comfortable place. I tried laying on the floor, bright lights, loud TVs everywhere. I went to a place where I found was quiet, and then two people sat by me and had a conversation. They were just strangers at 3 a.m, and they wouldn't let me sleep. And I didn't want to be rude and go, hey, there's a billion other rows you guys could be sitting in. I'm serious. It was one seat away from me. It was just over in the corner. I said, good, there's nothing there. And those people went all the way out to the corner and struck up a conversation. Oh, I was just furious. I had a headache. And then my wife, when I slept on the plane. It was awful. Slept on the plane and then got up, was still shaking. And then my wife said, well, let's go to Sam's. So we had to go to Sam's Club and shop real quick. I felt awful. And she was pissed at me. I went to bed immediately when I got home. Didn't wake up till the next morning either. So tired. But that was a great wedding, though. That was a great time. If I ever get to be in another wedding, I don't think I will. But if so, I'd be thankful. But either way, if that was my last one, that's how I go out. I'm happy. Sabatine. Well, that's just how I pronounce it, too. I don't remember who kicked the guy out into hyperspace during Darksaber. Well, here's the thing. Zahn knew that those existed, but he refused to acknowledge them, which makes a huge, huge error in judgment because, of course, Zahn said, oh, there was peace now. There's peace. And Luke gives this big thing. Well, in Young Jedi Knights that, Timothy Zahn didn't care about. He was not going to connect them. He did not want to play nice. I honestly think now he and Kevin J. Anderson they play nice, but I honestly believe he secretly does not like Kevin J. Anderson. Dave Wolverton told me there's a lot of authors that hate him because they ain't him. He likes Kevin. He said, but a lot of people don't, but Kevin gets a lot of work. Kevin gets work. He's very successful. He's very good at what he does. He markets himself very well and better than other people, and some people are jealous of him. Because I told him, I said, I don't get the hate for Kevin J. Anderson. He went, well, he said, there's a lot of authors that hate him too, but that's because he's great. He's great at what he does. I think Dave Wolverton was the kindest person you could ever talk to. No, it's not something she did normally. She was a dark side adept at the time. Well, I'm so far behind if I'm at that one there. Goodness gracious. What I think is under Dave Filoni's hat? Nothing. You're here hitting me with Dome and Barris. I have to type this in. That's what is this? How do I? Dome and Barris. All source books? I don't know Dome and Barris. See, you stumped me. Andres, you could be right. Morgoth, about Morgoth, especially in the History of Middle Earth. There's Morgoth's ring and something else I'm forgetting before that, but they kind of break down the Silmarillion and some early ideas of it, and I think it's in those. I don't think it's in the Silmarillion, but I could be wrong. Oh, I love that Small time cruise with the E and the U spelled backwards. Wow. That is great. Only if we get the Davids to go. Yeah, for real. No daughters left to walk down. Well, I'm talking about part of the wedding party. You know, I don't think the father of the bride's the wedding party. I mean, true, my son, some sons say, Dad, I want you to be in my wedding group. So maybe there's that one, but just from friends now, like I have a few friends I think will forever be single. I say that and I mean it. I'm not trying to be mean, but I just don't think one guy will never settle down. And my other buddy, even though he's happily with someone and he might get married to her, he might. I don't know if I would be in his wedding party. I might. It just depends. Like I'd like to think I would, but if he didn't ask me, I wouldn't be disappointed. Oh yeah, I love the old Star Trek. It's really good. Voyager's terrible, but any episode with the Doctor is great. And I love Enterprise. I'm the only one who loves Enterprise. Oh, I've never seen the live action cutscenes from Dark Forces 2. No, I have not. A lot of people drain damage. A lot of people like Zalm better than Anderson. That's fine. Remember, if you don't agree with me, I'm fine with that. It doesn't matter. We're just talking opinions, right? So that's fine. Kevin J. Anderson was inclusive of the EU. He really was. Good night, Michael. Thanks for coming. I've really gone over time, so I'm sorry. The Carillion politician, mother of one of the pilots of Rose Squadron. Okay, I just don't remember anymore. Was Elaine Cunningham the best writer for Jaina's story? I mean, she was fine. I didn't think there was something wrong with her. I think she did Jaina well. Yeah, I'd say yes, maybe. The best? I don't know. Maybe. I love Black Fleet Crisis, though. I love it. It's really good. Oh, wait. Okay. That's Alex sending me links to stuff. Man, I was hoping my buddy would call me back by now or text me back. I really might not. Yeah. There we go. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to stop there. I've gone way too long. I didn't think I was going to. I lost track of time. You guys are so much fun. But look, real quick. So the 400. I'm going to do more rewatch coming up. For my Prince of the Universe podcast and Saturday Morning Sam Flange, they're both getting live. I don't know how much we'll interact with the live feed, but we always do the 100th, whatever episode live. So in March, I think the first Monday in March and the second Saturday in March, I'll be live. I'll probably go live that Thursday too. What would that be? The 5th. So the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th. Oddly enough, in March, you'll get to see me live. Again, it probably won't be as interactive as I want it to be because we always do our, every 100th episode of Prince of the Universe or Saturday Morning Sam Flange in front of the cameras. I just think that's always fun to celebrate those milestones. So, yeah, but that's that. So you'll get to see me 3 times in March. I don't know of any other time. I mean, obviously, if I have nothing to do on President's Day, Monday, I may hop on in the morning a little bit. I don't know. Just depends. But anyway, guys, you have a wonderful night, and I will see you again soon.
Take care.